Well, it happened. Another year's over. Another Call of Duty game. Marvel and Disney announced 20 billion different projects. And another Fortnite chapter's ending. But let's talk about that. This chapter has been the worst we've ever seen. Period. I don't know whose idea to do any of this. They had all these amazing ideas. The new movement. They had mods, finally. They had some sort of first person. And then they messed it up. They began with the first season. I feel like it was promising, and by the third update, the season was dead. They went on winter break. The movement was left completely broken. I felt slower than a crippled. And then from there, it just got worse, I know a lot of people suddenly had a really bad frame rate bug. I was one of them for a long time, and I couldn't play half the season. And I barely got my battle pass done. And every time I would contact Epic support, it was just, oh, we'll be fixing the next update, and it never came. And I had no matter how many times I reinstalled the game, how many verified files I went through, nothing ever was fixed until about a week before the new season launched, when someone on Reddit found a solution. We had the TMT mythics were really good at the beginning. I feel like they were too present at the end. I know a lot of people didn't like the medallion system. I think it was really good, actually. I think it was phenomenal. Things started falling apart by the second season. Around season 2, they were promised the entire world, basically. New mythics, giant map changes, all the wonders. And it was really good. Except for the fact that this was the season they basically just had ripped out the idea of customizable weapons. I feel like we had 2 mods that I never used. They made it so it was so much harder to find a mod bench. And if you ever did find a mod bench, it was probably being capped by at least one other player who was sitting there in the corner in a blind spot where you couldn't even see him. And there was 2 of them too, so you had to gamble on which one he might be in. And just to spend 50 plus gold per item to change your weapon to maybe match how you want it. But as I'm sure everyone knows, by the middle of that season, we had the Avatar collaboration, which was a long-awaited thing, but it was disappointing. They had replaced all of the Greek god mythics for these Avatar things, these powers. And it felt more like an Avatar season for those 4 weeks. It just never got better after that. I feel like that entire season was just constant unbalance, and we never actually got anywhere. And when there was an attempt to balance something, they just nerfed it into the ground. For season 3, yet again, Epic Games had promised us everything. We had Fallout. We were promised Pirates of the Caribbean. We had an entire roadmap leaked. Cars, a train you could hijack. For the first week, the car mods were so cool. Fallout I was ecstatic about Fallout. But we never got anything more. Cars were beyond broken when they first released, and it was like a Mad Max scene every end circle with thousands of cars that felt like driving around shooting at each other. And then they nerfed them, but they nerfed them so bad that they were irrelevant. And doing so, they broke the boss cars so you could just get them and they'll be invulnerable. And then they had all these collabs, and they never did anything with them. In Fallout, they added a single back bling in the shop, and I was thinking about how I would buy a few more sets of power armor, maybe. They never did anything. And then they released the Pirates of the Caribbean collab, and I felt that went on for way too long. Way too long. It was kind of cool. But yet again, they promised this awesome item as the ship in the bottle, and they did nothing with it. And it was just nerfed into oblivion. Around season 4, it got so much worse, I think. Because this is it's supposed to be our season of fun, Chapter 4, season 4, the heist season was so fun. It was just constant chaos and constant fun. Chapter 3, season 4, was a bit more lackluster, but it was still so fun. They had so much going on at the time. Like they're usually the fun seasons, except for this time, where like we had all these super fun mythics. We thought, holy crap, it's gonna be like the first time with the Marvel season when everything was super overpowered and everything was fun. And then they just nerfed everything. Like the jetpack was nerfed twice. One time it was still a bit relevant, but by the second time, they put that thing out was misery. And like it was just a dead season after that. And then they tried bringing the Doctor Doom, which was like, holy crap, Doctor Doom. You know, everyone was trying to get it, and it was super fun. And then it was like, what, a 2% chance at getting the island? And like, you know, I was lucky enough that when I got it, I was in a bot lobby because I was playing with family who are, no offense to them, horrible at the game. But it was a miracle that I got it. I don't know how other people got it. It seemed like something of myth. It's like Mothman or the Wendigos. Yeah, and then they just kind of absurdly removed it after like a month. And they also kept saying that every 1 out of 5 games will have the Doom Island spawn, and I played probably 20 games, like 2 days, and I got it once. It's like that was just a freaking boatload of lies. And they just removed it. And there was nothing, because everything was nerfed. There's no new content, no word of content. And the chapter started turning around, I feel like, with the Fortnite Mirrors update. I think this was the best Fortnite Mirrors we've had in 2, maybe 3 years. It was so fun with all the POIs. We had more map changes in Fortnite Mirrors than we did for an entire season of this chapter. Like, it was crazy how many things they added. Like, completely new loot pools, 2 new bosses, 3, 4 new POIs. It was wild. It was just so good having Horde Rush again. Alright, now let's talk about some things they did positive, I feel like. Even though I'm not a big fan, I wish we could go back to seasonal, like, full live events. I feel like the mini live events were a step in the right direction. Even though the lore freaking sucked, it was still something. It was more than it was last season or last chapter where I couldn't even tell you what was going on. It's like we are definitely made a right step this time. I feel like Reload was like the best thing to ever happen to this game ever. People are like, oh, when OG becomes a permanent thing, that's gonna revive the game. But Reload already revived it, in my opinion. Reload is the closest thing to Fortnite OG that we need. We got the old loot, we got hit scan. It was no cars, low mobility, tight maps, constant fighting. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. I also feel like even though the map is memorable, like looking back now, like the hype around the Battle Pass skins were crazy. I remember, what was it, December 9th last year, when they released the Family Guy trailer for the Peter Griffin skin. I don't understand what the midnight waiting for that, because I was like beyond shocked about it. It was crazy. And then when they announced Avatar for season 2, blew me away. And I've been wishing for Avatar to be added for so long. Like, that was one of the only times I spent money outside of the battle pass on this chapter, was when they added the mini pass for Aang. It was so cool. And then when they announced freaking Fallout, I already said it once, I was so happy when I saw the power armor in the trailer. I was like, what? Like, I grinded every day this summer trying to get that power armor. I was so happy. And then, you know, season 4, it was like just crazy collabs. I know when I saw War Machine, I was like, holy crap, they had a War Machine? And Dr. Doom again, but he was cooler this time? So fun. So fun. But like, all in all, the worst thing they did this season was how it ended. You're telling me we went from Dr. Doom, who was like, I'm gonna destroy everything, I'm gonna kill you all instantly. And then he got hit with a shield, and that was enough to like lower his defenses. We killed him with bullets in an hour. Like, I didn't even get to see because I was at home for that 1 hour. Like, I came home and I was like, what on earth happened? I had people tell me about what happened. I was like, what? And we went from that to Ice Spice twerking in New York Times Square while it was being broadcast into Fortnite. And they're like, it's the end of the season chapter. Oh my gosh, look at it. Like, what the freak was that? And then, like, I loved the idea of going back to chapter 2 because I have a lot of very good memories from chapter 2. I said it in a previous video. But what the freak? Like, Snoop Dogg's, like, alright, I guess, but, like, having freaking Ice Spice look like she's humping the shark, and having Eminem in a mom's spaghetti restaurant in the grotto with a minigun that raps his lyrics, like, what on earth are they putting the vents at Epic Games? What on earth? Like, and they put like the actual characters from chapter 2 aside. And like, you would think that if these celebrities had such a big part of that little mini season, they would be in the battle pass, but nope. They're like $30 each to buy the bundle. And you know that super duper awesome car that Snoop Dogg has? $30 for a virtual car. I get it, you can use it in Rocket League, but like $30. $30. Alright, I want to end on something a bit positive now. I think that this next season, or this next chapter, is going to be a lot better. Because, you know, we have a new director, because Donald Mustard stepped down, and this was his first chapter. And you gotta think, Donald Mustard had like 3 chapters to perfect his art, and he was like the guy who started Fortnite. So I think once he finds his footing, he could probably do good, because he was he the director, the creative director of God of War. Like, I do have faith in him, because like he was in charge of like God of War, and he's been doing this for 20 plus years. So I do have faith, and I'm so excited for Godzilla. Never thought they would add him, but they are. So let's just hope, going to this new chapter, that it won't be the largest pile of crap like this last chapter was. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, since you're already here, and if you want to listen to me blabber for who knows how long, and I insert some Japanese saying.